Hi to all. And here I am again. Sorry about the voice, but I feel a bit strange after so long not have recorded any of my readings, but I still have been working behind the scenes, doing lots of studies and lots of different things. So if you bear with me and stick with me for, from now going forward, you will see loads of different readings, loads of different things happening, and also things that you might be very interested in, like classes, and so on and so forth. I'm a bit keeping it a bit secret, so I hope it would be a good surprise for all of you. Also, two websites, before I didn't have any website. Now, because I'm offering different type of readings and different type of things, I have decided to make one website, Journey to the Light Tarot and More. So already the more would explain something there for you. And so please go and check it out. You will find the link at the description box below. And also a website for my very well loved hobby. You will see it there as well, where I hand make certain items that I hope you will enjoy looking at them. So without further ado, here we are. Easter. As you all know, whatever, depending from your religion, but most of people would know anyway, Easter is the time of the resurrection. So let's have a look, and please stay until the very end, because I am going to pull a card from here. I will show it to you then, and I will do a mini psychic reading on your sign depending on the card there. Okay, so that is a little preview of what you could see in my website, and the thing that I offer, the new services that I offer. So let's go back and let's start. So this is a reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Okay, so let's see this Easter, what is going to bring you. And we'll start with the energy that is going to be going around you, Aries, on this Easter time. So let's see, please, angels and guides, show us which kind of energy is Aries going to receive during this Easter. The thinking woman. Okay, here, whatever you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, but I'll explain to you exactly the kind of message I'm getting through this. So, thinking woman. If you are a female, here what I sense very strongly is that during this time, and I think it could have started, this process could have started already from the first lunar eclipse that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I should have written them down, but if I'm not mistaken, should have been around the end of March. And then we had another eclipse around the start mid-April. So this thinking process, it might have started during the first eclipse and then been reevaluated again during the second eclipse. But I believe that is still maturing. And the reason why this card for me, it's coming out during the Easter time, it's like as if there is a culmination, a birth of an idea. After I've taken into consideration lots of different possibility, then on Easter time, I strongly believe that there is going to be a kind of you taking a direction, or at least favoring one of the possibility that you were thinking about a certain, thing that you needed to decide on. Now, if instead you are a male, what I believe is that you are going to have the same kind of scenery or scenario where, again, with eclipses and this and that, something started to go on around in your mind that you needed to make a decision about a particular situation. But that thought process that you started then has been very much on, your thought pattern has been based on receiving information. So using that receptive energy, the feminine energy. So instead of using the masculine or the yang energy of how am I going to act? It's more, how am I going to receive the information for then finding a solution? Okay, so here we go. This is the energy that we see around Easter. So let's pull another oracle card before we start the full reading, and we'll see what it says here. So keep in mind that if this reading resonates with you, it's got something to do with a decision that you would need to take, or a particular situation that you have been thinking about and that you would like to clarify. And it all culminates then on Easter time. So I would suppose 2 or 3 days before Easter, the day before Easter and 1 or 2 days after. So let's see another supporting energy here for your situation, Aries. To be fair. Okay, so what is saying here, it's keep in mind, okay, I don't know why I bend it, I'm very sorry. So keep in mind that, to keep a balance. For me, this card very much says, keep your thought in balance. Don't try to excuse yourself too much, and don't try to excuse someone else too much. So to see the pros and the cons about it, if it happens, if this is a situation that has got something to do with another person where there was a disagreement, to be fair and to look at it from both sides. So like as if you are looking at the situation from higher above, detach yourself and see, the reasons from your perspective and from the other person's perspective. If instead this is a situation where you need to make a decision for yourself, I just give you an example, okay? A new job or staying where you are, moving or staying in where you are, something like that, it's to take into consideration all the pros and cons. And that would really, really help you, okay? It's very good, because if all of this can come to a head, then, and you can find a decision about something that is bothering you, then, we feel, when that happens, we all feel a lot lighter. That is the way I feel myself anyway. Otherwise, the thought keeps going on and going around in your head. Sorry, I'm just getting annoyed with that little side light there. This is my new room that I have prepared just for this. I never had it before. So let's have a look now. We will do a full reading and see what else the tarot can tell us about this situation, Aries. Okay, so let's have a look here. We'll do a... Okay, so here we've got the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, as some of you would know, very much talks about something from the past, something. So again, I am reconnecting to what we were saying before. It could be that this decision that you need to make, or this thought pattern, whatever we discussed before, there is no point of me repeating over and over, is something that came up in the past, that then for some reason it wasn't resolved, or you thought it would have been resolved and instead you realized no, it was not. So it's like you're repeating, to go back and repeating all that. And actually now, while I'm talking, it actually came into mind as well that we are just barely out of the Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde would have brought back things that they had not been resolved. And most of all, because of Mercury, you would have had to do with communication and all of that. So it all makes sense. Now, let's see what crosses it. And here is the Hangman. Yeah, what has stopped you until now? I believe it would have been the thought of putting yourself there, and some of you maybe even waiting to see how things would have developed before making a stand or before taking a decision. This is very much what I'm feeling, and that now instead with this energy, things are going to move forward because you will take a decision, and it makes sense, at the rebirth, the Easter, and so let's see. Anyway, the base of the situation, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, there has been a very, very slow pacing movement forward about all of this. So not only you had put yourself in a hangman situation and it was blocking even in the past the decision that you needed to make or that you wanted to make or that you weren't clear on, this has been so slow. This is something that comes from way back, and it also gives me the feeling that some of you would for some reason adapted yourself to hold your horses, because if you embody the full Aries energy, Aries is very quick to act, sometimes maybe too quick. But you are action oriented, you get things done. But here it's like for this particular thing, it's like as if you put the brakes on and it doesn't feel right within yourself. So let's keep going. What happened in the past? The Fool. So again, I think that you have made this slow down effect in taking a decision because in the past, you realized that you had acted too fast without thinking about the consequences. Could have been about making a decision about this particular situation or in general. Like I'm giving you an example. You know, when we are very young, doesn't matter which star sign we are or whatever, we all tend to be very fast in making decision and not to take into consideration all the possibilities of what the end result could be. But that is very much lack of experience because of having been on this earth not too long. So it's like as if in the past you had acted on something that could have been this situation or something else, and you had realized, if I had waited, I wouldn't have then had to face these particular consequences. I'm sure you understood what I'm saying. So what you have in your mind about this, the world, you want to close the cycle, and it makes sense here. You know, the thinking woman. So when somebody thinks and start thinking about a solution for a situation, it's because you want to close the cycle. You want to find the best resolution for it and put it to sleep. So here very much you're thinking in your head, your intellect is thinking, I have to take a decision, I have to close this chapter and then move forward. That doesn't mean close the chapter and leave it behind. It could be I close the chapter of keep thinking about how to make a decision and make a decision. So do I carry forward this and how to carry this particular situation forward, or do I leave it behind me? And how do I do that? But let's see here. Here we've got the 9 of Wands. So it has been a struggle, but you're still standing. Again, I get the sensation that this has been quite a long thought, more than thought. Yes, it's like this situation has been put, what I can see in my mind's eye, it's like a situation that has been put under a rock, but it was always there. You knew it was there, so it was in the back of your mind. You know, that kind of thing. You could have just forgotten for a bit, but then something would have triggered, maybe a word, maybe something that you saw, you could have triggered, you know, thinking, oh, that situation is still there. And by the way, sorry if I move a lot my hands, but that is who I am. Sorry. And that is part of my culture. We speak a lot with our hands. So apologies. If you don't want to see my hands move, close your eyes and just listen to the reading, okay? So let's see then yourself. 7 of Pentacles. Again, you had been waiting and waiting and waiting to see what would come of this situation. Again, with the Hangman. And you know, this reading, I'm actually doing this reading on the 14th. So while I'm doing this reading, it would be that you're still waiting to see what it transpires from it. Let's see the energy that is coming towards you about this situation. The 4 of Pentacles. I sense that if we're talking about someone else involved with you, about making a decision or something that happened between the two of you, this person is keeping their thoughts and their opinion or whatever very close to their chest, so it's not very visible what they want to do, or Or it could be as well very much that he reconnects with that, to be fair, that this person has not been fair towards you because they are very much all for themselves. Four of Pentacles, it's very much, I mind, this is me, this is mine, and I'm right, that kind of attitude. So let's see your hopes and fears. Here we've got the Page of Swords. So it's like as if you're afraid that a communication would come. So I always read it both ways, because that particular position in the Celtic cross calls for hopes or fears. So let's start with the fears. It's the first thing that came to me. It's that you are very much afraid that something will come up, and also that this person is keeping an eye on you, or there is somebody involved in the situation, could be any kind of situation, where it's keeping tab on you. The other way of reading it would be your hopes, is that finally you will receive clarity, a message or a communication where it's finally clear. Okay, the whole thing needs to be cleared out. Let's see the result. And here we've got the Nine of Swords. Now, I never read my card upside down. Okay, as you can see, my whole deck, it's properly. But for some reason, the Nine of Swords came up upside down. Okay, so I never read reverse. But when this happens, like for example, if I am shuffling a deck and one card flies out or falls, and it falls upside down, I would then read it that way. Or if for some unknown reason, one of the cards in the deck is turned upside down. So Nine of Swords, I know that for the readers who read, so for the readers who apply the technique of reading both upright and reverse, this card would be worse than the usual Nine of Swords. That means more than desperation. That means more than feeling completely defeated, going to the point of maybe clinically depressed. But because I do not apply that technique, for me, the reverse cards means the opposite of what it would mean in the upright position, unless I get a different feeling. So for me, it's like when you make the decision, recap, when you make the decision about the situation, and you will find a solution because it's that word card at the top of your head, you want to close the cycle. You want to close the circle, decision made, you will then come out of that, oh my God, is this still hanging over my head? And let it be. So I think that's, Easter rebirth, very, very good. And also at the bottom of the deck, I noticed before when I showed it to you, there is the Devil card. Again, what do you release? That being so chained to this particular decision that you need to make to move forward. So as promised before, I am going to take, now let's see if I can get one without doing a disaster and show you. There is cards in here, and I'm just going to pick one. Okay, whatever. And let's see. Wait. And I'm going to do a little, one. And I'm going to do a little reading, psychic reading, and I hope that you'll enjoy this and that it will resonate with you and it will help you. Okay, so let's see. Now, as you can see, this is an absolute beautiful, beautiful card. This is Ciro Marchetti. What's the name of them? Sorry. Oracle of Visions. I absolutely love them. And you can see from the depiction, it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful card. It's fantastic. So let's see. Just give me a second. But immediately when I picked up this card, the first thing that I felt was a desire of peace. We've got the white dove, and it makes sense with all the rest of the readings as well. So it's not a targeted reading to just one particular person that it might happen, maybe with the rest of the readings, different signs. But here it's like, and it's also for me, with the white dove, very much remembering and reminding me of Easter. The white dove, that the resurrection. And what do we get from that? We get peace. So it's like as if you, Aries, with the beautiful red that represents you, the red of the fire signs, are going to find that peace that you're looking for, and that moment that you can catch a breath and feel that the weight has been lifted off your shoulders. So I really hope you enjoyed this reading after so long, and I hope that you are going from now on, keep coming back to me. There is loads of surprises. I would love for you to like, share, and subscribe if you don't mind. And go and check my website so you will be able to see everything that I offer now. I'm not too sure if I said everything after so long and if it was a complete botched reading because of the way that I speak after so long. But, it won't be long before I get the hang of it again. Thank you so very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye.